G'day. I was asked a question the other day when I showed the video of my track lane through the pit lane through the Electric Pussy race team shop up here. The question was posed to me: how does that affect your actual traffic to businesses? Like, you're trying to fit a shop into a theme or whatever. Is that going to limit who gets to actually use the shop, and so on and so on? And yes, it can. You've got to plan your layout of your commercial districts pretty well. And I thought, I keep mentioning the showing you how to do a move a large build with lots of objects, but I just thought before we get into that, because I'm actually in the process of doing a lot of moving at the moment, of showing you how a way to, or ask some questions to ask before you go designing your commercial district, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with mine. So I am a very prolific content creator, so I create a lot of things. At the core of most of my product range is the Iramoto script factory. So you'll see Iramoto, the brand, all over the place. So all the scripts I write, and there's thousands and thousands of them, are Iramoto brand. So when you come to my car yard, there's an Iramoto sign. You go to my bed and furniture factory there, that the side post there, Iramoto. Pump, there's scripted body parts, again Iramoto. So it's at the center of everything. Phase, dance equipment, again Iramoto. So XTC is one of my old brands, which is just Zay Thompson Creations, because that's my avatar name, Zay Thompson. So you'll see there's a lot of things. Up the end there is a scripted dance silks shop. So what I'm getting at there is Iramoto is generally the central shop in all of my cities. So that's what I've done here as well. We'll go up for an aerial view. Now beyond that, I also have Electric Pussy, which is the ladies wear shop, and I have a men's range called Om. Nearly call it Om. And those are my two clothing range, or two main clothing ranges. As I said before, there's also this dance silks shop up here. It trades as DOM, D-O-M. So those are the three different brands, and that is a unisex arrangement up there. On top of that, Pump also has skins, hair, male genitalia, eyes, all that sort of jazz, and again it's unisex. So what I've decided to do on this region, I've looked at how I can cluster stuff together. So if you get someone coming in for, say, ladies swimwear, if they decide to walk next door, what's the best shop to put there for them to have a wander around? So what I've decided to do with these unisex shops, because people tend to, when they search, they tend to type in women's clothing, not unisex clothing. So, and the same with skins and all that sort of thing. So what I've decided I'm going to do is, with Pump and the Dom shop, which are unisex, I'm going to put samples of their ranges in the Om for men and Electric Pussy shop. So there's going to be samples in there of each of the ranges, and I'm going to still have the full shops, but I'm going to put they can be pretty much anywhere as long as I have samples in them in the main gender specific shops. So what I'm going to do, it takes the pressure off worrying too much about exactly where those two multi-gender shops go. So what I'm going to do is pop that dom shop up here on this patch of land behind Electric Pussy, because people are going to teleport there directly out of search. It's not vital where it goes. It's also being a roleplay outfit type of thing, it's very handy having it near the naval base where there's a lot of RP stuff going on. So I'm going to just drop that in there to fill in that gap beside Electric Pussy. So that's that whole end sorted out. Down here, because back to the having Uramoto at the center, I'm going to drop the two main scripted shops, which is Bianchi, that's the furniture and animations. We're going to have that where it is now, and this shop here, which is the club equipment, the phase club equipment, so that's dance floors and lighting, that sort of thing, that's going to go here as well. So they're both within Kui of the Iramoto and Tomato Motors stores. And I've sort of built this back to the pit lane idea I was talking about the other day. So here's the dark bitumen being the main track. So that's the main road or the main racetrack, and this is essentially a secondary pit lane again. It's a service road. I've set this back off the main road by about off the beach by about 150 meters. So over here where the OM shop is, etc., that's all going to have a small sand dune system to separate all this from the front beach, and I'll still be able to have housing and that up the front. So that should still look good. So this little pocket here, we're going to have these two shops. I'm going to, I don't really want to use that newer style OM shop. That's the same style as the Electric Pussy shop, but I really like these old rustic timber buildings. So I'm going to use this two-story old timber shop here for the menswear range, and it's already got all my gear in it, so which is a bonus. It means I just have to drag and drop it over here. So I'll put it, I'll swing it around, say 90 degrees, and pop it pretty much where I'm standing now. So that will go in beside the behind these two shops. So that'll be Bianchi, the furniture shop. This one will be the I've got to rebadge it. This will be the club equipment shop. OM will go in there, facing this street here. And what else was there? There's some, oh yeah, so that one's going up behind Electric Pussy. Oh, and Pump. So Pump is the other one. And look, while I do have hair and skin, I'll be perfectly honest, the biggest selling object in there is male genitalia. So it will be going right next door to the menswear shop. So that should work out really, really well. So what I'm your takeaways from all of this is just when you're sorting out your layout, and even if you don't make all this content, if you're creating a shopping district or a mall where you want tenants to come in and put their product ranges, make it thematic, make an area. It's always good to have a swimwear shop next to a swimwear shop. There's no problem with that. It creates healthy competition, and it brings out the best in your individual creators. So some creators will get onto a region and think they're all that, and think that you're begging them for their presence, and you don't want to get into that, because you'll end up with overpriced stuff, and often it's only their seconds. A lot of creators don't put their best stuff on any other region apart from their own. So don't lay out your commercial district according to the whims of other content creators. Stay true to your own vision, and make it a good retail experience for anyone who comes to your regions, and people will keep coming back and they'll talk about your stuff. The other question I got asked was, is it really worth having content on regions nowadays? And I'd have to say yes. You just have to make sure that when you create a parcel, like so I'm going to have to subdivide all these into their own parcels, put in good descriptions, give it a good name. Think of it as a web page. So you want Google to find it. Well, you want the internal search of your particular grid to find it. You want it to show up on landmarks. When someone takes a copy of the landmark, you want it to have exactly what's there. Don't just call it Fred's Place. Call it Fred's Swimwear for Men, Daphne's body parts, skins, shapes, eyes. You know, have whatever's in there, and then in your description you've got X amount of words there. Just fill it with keywords. You know, I build all this stuff, and I make my own gear, stuff that makes people want to buy from you. They all want original content. They don't want to pay too much for it, but they want quality, and it's not too hard to do. I make about, so I've got my in-world presence and I've got Kitely. So Kitely, this stuff in here, it is linked to the hypergrid, but I'm kind of thinking of locking that down to just DigiWorldz only, and letting Kitely handle the external worlds, because they have security measures in place that are sort of independent of Open Simulators export. They just know what they're doing with it. So I'm thinking the stuff that's in world here very soon I'll probably lock down to DigiWorldz only. Unfortunately, the downside of that is I can only put about 50% of my range on Kitely, because they have some pretty strict censorship and things, and a lot of my stuff is a bit borderline. That said, I don't know how well it's monitored, because I've seen some bloody disgusting stuff on Kitely, but that's another story. Yeah, so you can make decent money out of it. My goal has always been to enjoy virtual worlds for free, which means I have to make content that covers the cost of my region server fees. So DigiWorldz, I've got a first land region, which is Arius, and I think that's about $8 a month. This is all US dollars. And this new one, this 3x3 VAR, I think cost me 25 US a month. So that's 33 US a month. I've got one tenant on Arius who pays me $4 a month, so that's $29 a month. So my goal is to make $29 US a month out of Kitely and in-world sales, and I can still, now that I've moved a lot of this stuff over to this region, I can open up the other one for more rentals. So yeah, I think that's sort of what I'm working towards now, and it's certainly achievable. At the moment I make about 50 to 100 US a month out of a year out of Kitely. It's not huge, but it's worth having there. In-world can vary greatly because of the cost variance of what I sell. I probably make about, oh no, it varies between 100 and 300 a year out of in-world sales US. So again, it is covering costs, and as a hobby that is purely designed to be fun, not business. As I mentioned the other day, I've got my own business in the real world, which feeds me well. It is achievable, even in this day and age where, you know, Open Simulators and Second Life probably aren't as big as they used to be. There's still a definite market out there. But anyway, I won't make this another big video. Keep it under 15 minutes. And yeah, okay, righto. We'll catch you next time. Have a good day. Bye.